Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Stupid O'Clock. Be no news tonight because Lewis Lee is a little under the weather. So you got to put up with us for the full 2 hours tonight. Oh, and everybody, now the chatty Cathy's got quiet on me.
I was just going to say, I don't think I could do the full 2 hours.
Oh, so how's everybody's week going?
Slowly.
Are you off tomorrow or are you off Monday?
Monday.
Monday.
Matter of fact, they told me I can actually, because of the stuff we did today at work with the experimental product stuff, I can even get four more hours overtime tomorrow. My boss has already signed off on it, so all I got to do is clock out at 7 p.m. instead of 3:30.
Oh, okay.
I talked to the lady that does the payroll, and she says because I'm working the overtime, she is allowed to remove the 30 minutes unpaid lunch break that I normally get on my 8-hour days. So I have to be there for 8.5 hours, but I only get paid for 8.
And Carly has jumped in and says hello, and Carl is saying hello, and Carleen says she hopes that Lewis gets to feeling better soon, and she wants to know how is your back, Dan?
It was doing much better, and then today it's giving me just a little bit of trouble, but that's just because I was working extra hard. It's got nothing to do with the weather kicking my arthritis. It's just bending and stretching and lifting and everything else. Felt like I was baling hay again.
Oh, oh yeah, I know that feeling.
Oh yeah,
I get that feeling all day and night. How'd you like that music, that sheet music I posted earlier this week?
I'm afraid I couldn't hear it. Something was droning it out.
Oh, it was just, yeah, that's me. I constantly hear that ring.
You constantly hear that ring?
Yeah, just constant.
I was an infantry mortar man and a light combat engineer.
Yeah, you too.
I thought it had a good beat.
I have a chorus of tinnitus going on, like 5 different octaves.
Hey, did you qualify for that settlement?
What?
Yeah.
No, strangely enough, I can distinctly remember when they came out with those 3M earplugs.
Yeah.
And I looked at them, I said, okay, these things are no account. And I put it back. I gave it, they only had, I think, 20 pairs they give us.
Yeah.
Or 24 pairs, something like that. And we had 30-something people. No, if anybody wants them, go ahead and take them. Because I still had my old earplugs.
That worked good?
Yeah.
And we have the great Christian Basil. Did I just say that? Did I just say that?
Great. You can't come up with a better word than great.
Great.
Legendary.
I get his reference, though.
Yeah. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds. Lawrence? I guess.
Hey, last time we did that, we got kicked off the air.
Yeah.
And a 1 and a 2.
So, I've been fighting a headache for the last 3 days. Then I've realized I hadn't had any caffeine all week.
And whose fault is that?
It was mine. It was just, oh, hey, Teresa Dunn. Welcome to the show.
I don't believe I could make it a day without caffeine. I've got to have my coffee in the morning. Otherwise, I'm going to be a real irritable little bugger.
Let's take Joe someplace and get him a triple espresso.
We lost Bill.
Completely lost him. Not just.
Yeah. I mean, he AWOL'd on us.
Well, now you got to remember the signal he uses to get on is not one of the best, and he can't help that.
You need to slide the camera just a tad to the right. There you go.
It's
There you go.
actually the left, but
It's just a jump to the left.
it
But
was
it's set up
centered
to
when
the
it was
right.
just me and John.
Oh.
Here he come.
Almost.
Come on, come on.
Yeah,
Run
Bill,
faster, hamsters, run faster.
yeah, Bill has to climb up the phone pole outside his bedroom to get to the internet.
Green Acres. Yes, I had an interesting childhood.
No, funny thing is, I was thinking about the same thing. But
I caught it immediately. There's Bill. Welcome back, Bill. And he's frozen.
is he?
Sort of.
Oh,
No.
well,
And Christian is asking, "Damn, John, do you go to the beach often?"
no. I just step outside occasionally.
And Josh Kemp is saying, "Good evening, guys."
Hey, Josh.
And Carl says he knew we would get it. Oh,
But I did just get out of the shower about an hour ago, so that may be well. So.
Oh, John,
Well-
he's talking about the Landmaster.
Oh. Who?
oh, and Carly says the telephone pole in Oakwood isn't tall enough. Oh,
I was having tactic problems.
We need to get you Agent 86's shoe phone. That thing seemed to work everywhere.
Yeah, that was actually the first true cell phone, wasn't it?
Well, let's see. Was that pre-Star Trek? It might have been. I'm not sure. I don't think so. It was in. I don't know. I can't remember.
See, James Bond had one in Man with the Golden Gun. They had it in the car. Of course, he's had a bunch of phones in cars.
Yeah.
And Christian says, Bill hasn't budged since he lost signal. How is that humanly possible?
He's very, very patient.
He's mastered the art of standing so completely still that he becomes invisible.
Yeah. And I don't know did we cover this before the show started or after about the New Shepard flight?
Oh, that was before. That was before.
Yeah, this is absolutely the coolest news, and I actually commend Jeff Bezos on the New Shepard because he is taking Wally Funk, part of the Mercury 13 that were rejected and program canceled on the first flight of the New Shepard later this month. But from what I'm hearing, the goal is to take all the surviving members of the Mercury 13
Whoa.
on separate flights. And Carl claims Bill is a weeping angel. Donna is mocking him. And Christian says, I'm keeping my own eye on him then.
Don't blink.
Which is absolutely the best written Doctor Who episode ever. And we lost Bill again.
That will happen a lot. It's like back when we first started and I was using the desktop and it wasn't fast enough and
tin cans of string.
Mm-hmm. And then I was using the laptop and it was better but not quite good enough, and then I got this workstation and it seems to be working real well. And the internet has not changed. It's just the processing speed of the computer.
Yep. No, I'm not, Christian. No, I'm not. I'm not even pulling that up on the screen.
Oh, come on.
No, not till Bill gets back.
Okay.
Oh.
You'll make the man blush.
Actually, Christian, I kind of like the first one better. It was,
Yeah. And HallowCon news, I am planning on choosing the videos for the video room
All right.
this week.
And then we'll spin the great wheel of which show is public domain now, but won't be a month after we play it.
Well, since we're not
broadcasting.
broadcasting, we'll be good.
It'll be a live
Okay.
movie.
Yeah.
Or are they doing it on room TVs?
No, it'll be actually because the hotel is smaller. We're going to take over the breakfast area as video room and gaming.
Okay.
Shoot, they got a breakfast area the size of some McDonald's of a small McDonald's.
Most hotels do nowadays.
Hmm.
Which was really cool because we took my mom's foster kids down to Florida for vacation, and all the hotels we stopped in had the breakfast, Best Western breakfast thing, whatever. And those kids, they had free apple juice. I mean, like in the container, so they could drink as much apple juice as they wanted to. Tell a 3-year-old they can have as much apple juice as they want. And then they had Fruit Loops, big, like 5-gallon dispenser of Fruit Loops, and the kids were like, Fruit Loops and bananas. Oh yes, all that big basket of fresh fruit.
So let me ask you this: how did things move after all the apple juice?
Pretty good, actually.
I bet it did. And Christian with the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS says Stupid O'Clock is live before a taped audience. That sounds about right.
Yep. We use a lot of duct tape to keep them in them chairs. Talk about a captive audience.
Or as we used to call it in Iraq, the silver inchworm.
Okay, not gonna ask. Just
if somebody wouldn't shut their mouth when we detained them, they would get the silver inchworm treatment. Basically involves about 150 feet of duct tape.
No wonder you got in trouble for requesting so many resupplies.
No, they wouldn't give us the good duct tape. They just kept sending us the crappy stuff. So we said, okay, let's see what we can use it on.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
And Donna Carleen says she was thinking the same thing about the apple juice.
It didn't seem bad. Now, we have had kids that can't drink juice, just for various reasons.
And they're really sad kids.
No, just they would rather drink something else than have diaper rash all the time. Of course, Mom always seems to get all the troubled ones, like the ones that are lactose intolerant, or the ones that can't have apple juice, or that's that sort of thing. So that's, and of course, one of her worst ones was they gave her a kid that was lactose intolerant and didn't bother to tell her the kid was lactose intolerant.
I bet that was exciting.
Let's just say we went through a lot of diapers.
I imagine so. Oh.
Oh. What? Don't look at me.
Sure show.
We're missing half our complement.
Yeah,
well.
Like the great Nick Tockert and Lewis and Skunk.
Well, like you got Christian, who, if he'd put on a shirt, he'd be on the show.
Yeah, Christian would put some.
Christian wears a shirt on his own show.
On his show, but
not on anybody else's.
Not on anybody else's. Oh, yeah, we're just sort of hanging out tonight. Did you get any rain down your way yet, John?
No.
Oh,
Bill might be back.
Bill might be back.
Hey.
Yes.
Did you put some aluminum foil on the antenna, Bill? I don't think he can hear us.
Sounds like he's unplugging and replugging the headset.
Ground control to Major Tom.
And no,
Nope.
nope,
Nope.
nope,
Nope. 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 Nope.
nope,
Nope. Nope.
nope.
Nope. Nope.
Too easy.
Nope.
Too easy.
If this was the green room, you wouldn't dare say things like that.
Too easy.
Mm.
Well, I'm getting a package tomorrow. I'm improving my studio.
How
I've got something ordered for the studio.
will it be? Will it be in place by Saturday?
It will arrive tomorrow.
That didn't answer my question at all.
All I got to do is
Oh.
take it out of the box and set it on the shelf.
Oh, okay. So it ain't what I thought it was. I was thinking maybe you'd finally gotten a green screen.
No.
Carl, I'm sorry, but I'm going to miss drinking with the Davies and part of the green room tomorrow because I will be working overtime. So
He's
I will be
making money.
I will be there late, but
I'll be
Yeah.
there after the auction, Carl.
And I'll be there just as soon as I see the link pop up to give everybody a piece of my mind again about whatever I was raising hell about last week.
And I'm already there. You guys are late.
It didn't show up as easily as it used to.
which
Oh, the notifications, yeah. Used to we get
Aw.
notifications. We have
Yeah, I
Yeah.
could see it at the top of the page where all the rooms are. Now you
Yeah,
got
it'll
to
say
tap into
their
a couple
room and then
different.
add your own room, and
Mhm.
it wants me to
Used-
make my mom a room. I'm like,
yeah,
nope.
yeah. Used to it when Carl would open up the room, we'd get the little notification. It'd bing on my phone and flash up on the.
I think that's actually your fault, Joe. You got to turn that stuff on.
It's all on.
Maybe. Have you checked? It's Facebook. They tend to change switches without telling you.
Yeah.
this is true.
I had the reminder set for Teresa's show tonight, and I never saw one thing in the notifications about it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Carl says Brian got a notification that his show was starting 2 hours after it started. Oh.
Yep. That seems to happen quite a lot, actually. And Brian will just come out and say, "Well, now I'm getting a Facebook notification that the show has started." Oh,
Well, that's nothing. I'd already yesterday YouTube did a faux pas on Brian. Me and Carl were sitting there thinking, okay, why hasn't the show started? Then the timer reset to 10 minutes and started counting down. And then I got a Facebook notification 5 minutes in, the show was started, and Brian was, I flopped over to Facebook. There Brian was, just a chatting away. Refreshed, and I said, hey, there he is. Had to refresh the page to get him to play. And it did
Yep.
Carl the same way. So Facebook's is getting just as bad.
yeah.
Somebody posted, I forget who it was, somebody got a violation of community standards from MeWe.
I didn't know they
How
had.
do you do that?
That's what they asked.
How on the? I mean, knowing some of the folks that I know that regularly wind up in Facebook jail, and MeWe doesn't have a problem with them. What on earth did they do?
I don't know. But yeah.
You pretty much have to be doing a live broadcast and forget to wear pants.
Yeah. Yeah. Carl,
Actually, I don't think that would violate MeWe's terms of service. But
Yeah. Carl says it was almost like Facebook bought YouTube or something. No, I wish they'd finally sell out to Google and be done with it.
Google's getting everything else.
It really.
It ain't Google, it's Amazon. Of course, have y'all seen the when Zuckerberg got in front of Congress and the senator asked him? He says, Can you show us your last personal message that you sent out on Facebook?" He goes, "I would rather not." He goes, "Oh, okay. How about what hotel did you stay in last night?" He goes, "Well, that's sort of private." He goes, "Okay, okay. Uh, what's your phone number?" And remember, you're testifying in front of Congress. I don't really. He goes, "Well, what's the difference in what Facebook does to all our privacy than what I just asked you?" Zuckerberg slumped back in his chair,
Yeah,
and then nobody did a damn thing about it.
of course not. But it's nice to see he's really uncomfortable when the shoe is on the other foot.
Oh yeah.
You know something I've noticed?
What?
I don't know if you remember it. I posted a disclaimer on my Facebook page
Yeah.
saying that I now identify as an independent fact checker and that Facebook would no longer have to independently fact check any of my posts.
Yeah.
They have not independently fact checked any of my posts since then.
I figured you were going to say, John, that they fact checked that post that you're an independent fact checker.
I am an independent fact checker. Prove me wrong.
Well, how about that one post I posted in the green room, or not green room, Secret Humor page? That the picture was blocked due to sensitivity issues.
That means somebody complained about it somewhere down the line. Maybe not from your post, but they complained about that picture and it got the whole algorithm got
Okay,
banned.
yeah. The picture was used by somebody else that got the complaint.
Yeah, Carl refused to click on it till other people says, "Carl, you need to click on this. This is funny." And it was said, I don't care about, he said, or they said, "I'll go to Facebook jail to, speak the truth," or whatever.
Oh, this one?
No.
Did you see today that New York is pressing charges against Trump and whoever his campaign guy was, or CEO of his campaign?
Yep.
Whose name I cannot. But they were leading that guy apparently for tax evasion. They were leading him into the hearing in handcuffs.
Yeah.
20 cops around the old white guy in politics, well known, house, all this sort of money and stuff like that. And they're treating him like he was John Dillinger, like he absolutely was going to shoot his way out of the courtroom or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, talk about a circus. That's just New York.
No, that they treat, it's equal treatment across the board.
He could have been one of the Manson family, John.
But are they actually arresting the guy?
Yeah.
No, they indicted. They did not. They were just pressing charges, basically, is what they're saying. And they drug him into court. They drug him in the courtroom for that.
Yeah, it's the same way. Well, when they the cop in Minnesota, when they convicted him, he stood up and looked at the guy, and the officer just pulled out his cuffs, and the guy just slunked his head, turned around, put his hands behind his back. When they sentenced him, they didn't cuff him, but you could see the guy with the cuffs in his hand twirling them like, you gave me a bad name, now I'm going to get you back. Oh.
Lot going on.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, a lot going on in the courts these days. or this
Oh,
week.
Well, of course, they're doing courts again. They postponed a lot of that stuff for COVID.
yeah, and somebody got off on a technicality.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't really a technicality as much in the sense that
Media circus. Yeah.
they said, if you tell us what you did, we will not use this against you. And the prosecutor turned around and used it against them, not in the civil
Yeah,
court case, but in the criminal. And
it was a different prosecutor, and says
right.
that deal wasn't cut with me.
But apparently the Supreme Court said the other prosecutor saying that made it binding.
Yep.
And now he can't be retried on it again.
Nope.
But the reputation's been destroyed. So
Yep.
Yeah.
That's odd.
What?
I was just looking at my news feed on my internet,
Yeah.
and for some reason, I've got a bunch of advertisements that popped up for night vision goggles.
What are you doing?
That's just it. I have not been looking for night vision goggles. I don't know why it popped up like that. So I'm blaming one of you guys.
No.
Nope. Although
Well,
they might be useful to have every once in a while, I don't see any reason to spend that much money for something that I'm not only going to use once or twice.
well, John, since you identified yourself as an independent fact checker, they probably think you're some covert terrorist.
I've got 7 of these ads. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I have 17 copies of this same ad on my Microsoft page. And it's the same company.
Well, somebody's got a nice budget for advertising.
Oh, did y'all hear they rolled a 230-foot tall skyscraper down a 2-lane road in Texas today?
No.
Yeah, they've got the super heavy booster sitting on the pad. 230 feet tall.
But they had to cut some power lines for that.
No, there weren't no power lines there.
Nope, that's what that road was constructed for. So,
Yeah.
But the problem is they're in the process of doing some road construction, and it goes down and there's an S curve from the launch pad to there. They're taking and they're straightening out that S curve to where it's just sort of a 45 instead of 290s. And, I used to do the road construction work. They're going down 4 feet, coming up with 2 feet of 3-inch rock. Well, you're the civil engineer. You'll understand this, John. 2 feet or construction engineer, whatever. They came up with 2 feet of 3-inch rock, 1 foot of the crush and run, and then they're going 6 inches of asphalt on top of that. Should be a good solid base.
well, the size of the thing they've been going down the road with, they need a good solid road.
Yeah. Oh.
I wonder what those roads down there at Cape Canaveral look like for that crawler, for the old Apollo era crawler.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, they're
Because that's got to be some thick darn base there.
yeah. It's actually a gravel road.
No, I don't think they keep gravel there. Not
Yeah.
hauling rockets.
Yeah, no, the crawlway is I think it's like a 2-inch river rock.
Wait a minute. One way to find out.
Yeah.
Carl says I just keep Googling plus size underwear models. My ads are targeted to what I like. Okay, Carl. Just like the secret humor group, something that if we haven't offended you in the secret humor group, give us time. We're working
You
on it.
know, I'm looking at it now, and those are gravel roads.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Hey, I told you I'm independent facts checker.
Oh,
Well, the nice thing about Carl's Googling habit for what he likes, Donna got a nice a wrap out of that. One of the models was wearing this real pretty, goes over your nightgown or whatever, and
That's the vehicle
Donna said,
assembly building.
"I want one," and
yep.
Carl got her one.
Yeah. Now, go back to the VAB. Checked out how it comes out, and that road that intersects it. The crawler will come out of the VAB with SLS, go to that road, stop, and then reverse and head up the up way. The other road goes to 39A. Wait a minute. No, there's okay. I guess they are going to cross. There's 39A, and that's to 39B. Look how the gravel's nice and fresh on 39B, but not A.
Let's see which one. There's 39A.
Yep. And as you see, SpaceX built the building right on top of it.
All right.
That's the Falcon building. Which is pretty cool.
Right there. And you can see where the crawler comes through here and goes right over the top
Of the trench.
of the exhaust thing.
Yep. Yeah, it has taken them 5 years to refurbish that.
Job well done.
Yeah. And SpaceX has just about completed theirs in a year. From nothing. Having to haul the dirt in to build it.
A lot of people don't realize this, but Cape Canaveral has all these different every time they built a new missile or rocket program, they built a new launch pad for it.
Yeah.
And if you go down through here, there are literally launch facilities all the way down through here. I'd find that in a minute.
Carl says, yeah, someday that robe will get delivered eventually, Dan. And Donna Carly goes, what could you say, Dan? He spoils me. And okay, now you're just sucking up, Carl. And Donna Carlene, you don't even have to type it in. You sure hope he does. All right. And so does he. But that's beside the point. Oh.
Bring that one up, Joe.
Yeah, what is that?
Oh, it's got them all labeled.
Yeah.
39B, C, A, all different. And if you go down, here's all these old ones down here. This is Merritt. There's Port Canaveral. That's where the boats come in now.
Yeah. Now, LZ1 and LZ2, you know what those are?
Were those test sites for the German rockets?
No, that's where SpaceX drops their boosters. That's where they come back.
Ah,
Landing zone, yes.
there we go.
Hello? Carl
He didn't
goes,
have a
Joe
heart
made
attack while I was gone, did he?
Yeah,
Oh, there he is. Okay.
yeah. Carl Witzman says Joe just made his own show X-rated just by reading our minds.
You make it so easy, Carl.
Oh. Well, that's it. Good night, everybody. Thanks for showing up. We're done.
Oh.
Oh. Lost Bill again. Yeah, he fell asleep.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I found my power slowly going lower and lower and lower, and
You kicked a cord loose.
I just plugged it in one that was dormant, so I had to wake it up.
Mhm. That'll do it. My wife got to where she did not like the way my usual alarm clock made me jump every morning when it went off. So she suggested we started using the cell phones as alarm clocks,
Yeah.
because at conventions we noticed that was a really nice alarm. It doesn't make me leap out of bed going, "Who goes there?" That sort of thing. So I have to make sure that, like every other day, I charge my phone back up.
So, do you have a smartphone, or you got a phone like John?
I've got a smartphone.
Oh, okay.
They made, we had perfectly good. I think they were 3G cell phones, and we'd only had them for like a year, and the company made us change to a 4G. So because the network was changing, and the other ones would be useless. I still use it as a camera. It's a really good camera.
Carl says for a while he used the Monkey's Daydream Believer as alarm. Did you hear it every morning? And did it seem like the same day?
Hey, Carl, how about Early Morning Blues and Greens by the Monkees for a wake-up call? Only
Oh heavens!
Oh, Adam Savage has a YouTube channel now, and he shows once a week he answers MythBusters questions. Most of the time, it's what he calls one-day builds, where he builds costumes for 3, and one of the days he just builds, does something in his shop just to improve his shop. But in one of the questions, they asked him, "What was some of your favorite myths that you enjoyed or whatever?" And they said, drop into the comments, which myth was your favorite. And I couldn't help it. My favorite would probably be John's too. The 22 and the fuse block.
Oh, where they replaced one of the fuses with a 22?
Yeah.
Okay. No. My favorite one was the cannonball.
Which cannonball? There were a few of them, and then there was the cannonball.
The cannonball.
The cannonball. The one that got away?
Yes. And bounced through several people's houses.
No.
Can you imagine the insurance they had to pay for MythBusters?
Oh.
I don't believe they call that insurance, Dan. I believe that's called a settlement.
Yeah. Settlements.
I'm wondering if they could even be insured.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I
I mean,
noticed you saw a lot more police officers at the range sets after that one. So
Oh, well, actually, that was towards the end of the run. That was also the last season of Amy or of Cary Grant and Tori because they were the ones that had it. But I typed in the 22 and the fuse block. Adam responded back. He goes, "Yeah, I love that. It was terrifying." And Carly says her favorites are anyone where Jamie wants Big Bang, and she says she's in love with the walrus.
hey Joe,
Yeah,
I just went to YouTube. I typed in MythBusters, and the first thing that comes up before I even got another letter after
yeah.
MythBusters is MythBusters Cannonball Accident.
Google is listening. Oh,
oh, you don't even have to type. I was looking for a piece of music that Lindsay asked me about the other day. And all I had to do was get 2 words of the title, and it filled in the rest.
yeah.
Doesn't Google have a thing now where you can actually hum part of the song and it guesses
That's
it?
actually been out as a phone app for quite some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Carl goes, Joe, Alexa's listening to all of us. Well, the thing is, it's not Alexa. Alexa and Google do not get along.
Here's something I found on the web. According to Quora.com, Rosenberg v. Google Lauren Rosenberg decided to sue Google for an excess of $100,000 in 2009 when Google Maps advised her to walk on the freeway to get to her destination, causing her to get hit by a car.
Damn. Alexa. Never mind. No, stop. Hey, Samuel. Good night.
Sweet and naughty dreams.
Hey, Samuel. Good night.
Good night. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
I guess Samuel's in a sweet mood tonight. Yeah, Carl says he went into the bathroom of a Mexican restaurant, held up the phone to the speaker, and asked what song it was. It found it. Hey, all I'm going to say right now is if you use Google Map directions, think about it for a minute. When you see that traffic backup that shows up ahead of where you're going, don't tell me Google's not tracking your phone.
Evidently, Google's tracking all the people in the traffic that are getting backed up.
Yes.
The first thing it does, especially on directions, is to get GPS to your location.
Yeah.
Down to the 10th of a meter.
That's
Wait a minute.
That's this close.
I didn't think that we were allowed to use that accurate a GPS.
We aren't. Google is.
Interesting.
That's close enough for mortar fire, isn't it?
That's close enough for flipping laser beams. They've got this system, and civilians can use it. It's just that usually you don't pay for that. I mean, but if you ever look, especially if they're doing road construction, you drive down there and you'll see bulldozers and road graders and stuff like that. If you look right on the nose of the bulldozers, you'll see this metal pole with an antenna, and it's got a usually some sort of curlicue type phone cord attached to it.
Yeah.
There's a little GPS sensor right up there. That is so that the guy doing the landscaping with the bulldozer knows where to move the dirt exactly. And that thing is literally accurate to about that close.
Oh yeah,
in 3 dimensions.
Yeah, they got one on each side of the blade. On each side of the blade.
To get to be the point where Skynet's doing all your landscaping for you.
Yep. And Carl says they track him everywhere, then ask to write every review. Yeah, don't no, that's a bad idea. My pinky still hurts from that review. I've not been back to that McDonald's since either.
Oh, I went to the Popeyes on Ringgold Road, it's just up the street from my mom's house.
Yep.
After I finally found it, go in there. They had 2 employees
Yep.
working the whole restaurant, and there were a lot of people in the drive. They were only doing drive-through. But a lot of people in drive-through line in front of me just left, got tired of waiting. I finally got up there, ordered my food, and they apologized the whole time about how everything. And I heard people cussing and just all sorts of stuff while I was waiting in the drive-through. And they apologized profusely for how long it took and getting the food ready and stuff like that. And, we only got the 2 employees. Please bear with us. I said, honey, take your time. And I just got to say, they did a wonderful job. The chicken was hot. So I'm trying to remember what I got the beans and rice. I got the chicken. The biscuits were hot. The chicken was hot. No complaint whatsoever. The sweet tea was excellent, as always.
Yeah. Where's the but?
Just, I highly recommend going there. Just don't give them a lot of crap about the wait.
Oh, I don't ever give them crap about the wait. I say, bless you for actually, one of those wanting to work. Now, the thing is, in 2 weeks, you'll start seeing those restaurants start filling back up with employees in the Tennessee area. Nobody going to ask why I think about 2 weeks.
Oh, we already know.
I'm guessing you're opening up.
This may come as a shock to you, Joe, but you're not our only source of news in the Tennessee Valley area.
Yeah. No, everything's been opened up, Bill. Been opened up for a while.
Just everybody's still getting the stimulus money.
There ain't no extra money coming in after Saturday.
Isn't it today?
No, Saturday.
Oh, so it goes through to Saturday. I thought July was cut off.
Yeah. Carl says 43,000 follow his photos and reviews on Google. That's crazy. Okay. Well, I've written a couple reviews that have several hundred. And somebody has tuned into our Twitch account. Hello, whoever's on Twitch. Just throw a comment and we will say hi to you. Dan can bring himself back in. I'm sorry.
Do we have a Twitch account? I didn't know we had a Twitch account.
Yeah, we got a Twitch account. We got a couple YouTube accounts.
I knew about them.
And got a half a
dozen. I'm seeing one YouTube, something with a purple square, and
that's Twitch.
That's Twitch. Okay, and then 5 Facebooks.
Yeah, 5 Facebooks.
Yeah,
Chug. Okay. Yeah, love you too, Dan.
Yeah. For those of you at home who can't see what we're seeing, we actually see Dan in a little square on the bottom of the screen. He's at home and he's getting ready to come back into the show, but he's just sitting down and getting comfortable and chugging his drink and smoking a cigarette and doing stuff we're not allowed to say on the air. Yeah. And we're laughing at him because we can see it and you guys can't.
And I saw Dan had his headphones on, so I had to cheer him on.
Yes, editorial comments. Yes. Everybody's a critic. Well, Lindsay had a little bit of a shock today.
Uh-oh.
Unexpectedly, while I was at work, a delivery driver shows up with an accent that she cannot understand. No, I mean, and she's English, so and she's
well, that explains a lot, actually.
She's her first language was Spanish in Venezuela, and she her family moved back to England when she was about 5, so she had to learn English as a second language. and she lived out in New Mexico for a while, and kind of got the patois that some of the Apaches out there use. It's a mix of Apache and Spanish and English, and anytime we go to an actual Mexican restaurant with Hispanic people working there, she translates what some of the waiters and the kitchen staff are hollering about that I don't understand, but she does, and sometimes she gets a giggle. But this guy evidently had an accent from India.
Oh, boy.
And yeah, and she could barely make out like every third word, and the guy was insistent that she had to sign for this package addressed to me, and she did not know what it was, and she was worried that this is some kind of a scam, and by accepting it, we'd get charged this humongous bill for something. And it turns out a guy from Mumbai sent me a paperback book that he wrote, because a month or two ago, Apelian published one of his short stories, and he looked me up on Facebook and asked if I would mind if he sent me his paperback collection of his short stories, and I didn't mind at all. I wish that he had a chance to autograph it, because I really like it when my writers send me something that they autograph. I mean, it's more precious to me. But because he's an Apelian writer, it's very precious to me already. But she did not know, and she was not about to open the package to find out. So she had to wait till I got home to find out that it was an actual for real thing and not a scam.
If I were somebody that was delivering packages like that, and somebody had said that to me, well, I don't want to sign. It might be a scam. I know this. Well, if it just happened to tear open while I was not looking before you signed for it, it wouldn't bother me a bit.
She doesn't think that way.
No, the delivery driver should have thought of
the delivery driver.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
Dan, has she ever sat down and gave her British accent ordering and all that, and let them talk for a little bit, and then wait till they come up close to the end and say, "Hey, I know what you've been saying the whole time"?
No, she doesn't say that, but what she has
Hey,
done.
Blake.
Hey, Blake. What she has done is let them hear the English accent, and we go through the entire meal, and then just as we're about ready to leave, she'll thank them for all their attention and everything throughout the entire evening in perfect Spanish.
Just to see the face.
And just like it, she plays it off as if she had forgotten that she had changed languages, or failed to notice that she had changed languages. And it's always one of those, it's either a head nod or a smile, or just one of those shocked expressions on their faces.
Oh dear God, what did I say? Did I say anything bad?
Yep.
Oh,
My favorite is when we're someplace and she can actually hear the crew hollering around at each other in the kitchen, because it's hot in there. They've got the door open so the air conditioning can get more air conditioning in there, because a restaurant like that, even if you got it air conditioned, the kitchen is going to be hotter than the rest of the place, no matter what. Oh, but she does enjoy playing the occasional joke, but she's not evil. So
no, if I did know an extra language, I would let them just say whatever, and like you said, right at the end, just say da da da, and then just drop it on them in a perfect.
I think that was in an episode of Seinfeld where Elaine kept going to this one place to get a manicure, and all these Asian women were there, and she ended up taking George's dad with her because he understood the language. And then he kind of finally cracked at the end and said, "This is what they're saying about you," or whatever, you know. And then he turned around and started speaking in their language, and they were totally shocked, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Carl
We
says, Carl threw in a comment here. He says, I was helping some guys on a project when my secretary walked into the building. One of the guys said in Spanish, I'd like to take her home and fatten her up. I laughed, and that's when they were shocked how good my Spanish was. Now, one of the best scenes. It was from an episode of Designing Women. Do you remember that one, Dan?
Oh, of course I do.
There was a comedian on there named Henry Cho
Yes, he's one of my favorites.
from Knoxville.
He has my accent, actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, but he's Korean, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's sitting there, and they're just back and forth, thinking he does, and he's just smiling and nodding, smiling and nodding. And as they start to get off plane, he goes, "I just want y'all to know I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee." Just like that.
Yep. Oh, do you remember the one he told about the first time his family took a trip to Korea?
No.
Now he's full-blooded Korean, but raised lifelong in Knoxville, Tennessee, and he always joked that in Knoxville he could never lose sight of his family, especially his father, because it's the only Korean guy that they knew.
Yeah.
He kind of is obvious in downtown Knoxville.
Hmm.
So they got off the plane and in the airport, and his dad wanders off, and he's looking around, and he's surrounded by Korean people, and he can't find his dad for the first time in his life.
Oh. And Donna Carly goes, we had a lot of seasonal workers in the cornfields, and if they found out you spoke Spanish, they changed dialects until they found one you didn't understand. Of course, one of the best Henry Cho stories I heard is they had to quit taking their mom fishing. She kept eating the bait.
Oh, minnows don't look that much like sushi.
No, they did the catch the perch and fillet them for the big fish.
Now we did have a an engineer from India at work. He was there for, I don't know, maybe 30 years or so, and his English was obviously not his most fluent language. We've got another one who's French, and everybody that has to work for him tells him, just send me an email, write it down. I can understand that.
Yeah,
no, there was a couple of other people. One of the other, I don't think it was an engineer, but somebody else, a spouse that worked in the office, either a secretary or another engineer, and their spouse were sitting at a table close to him at some company function, and they were talking to each other in Spanish, and putting other people down, thinking, well, I mean, there's nobody Hispanic around us. This is a safe language to be put down in. And Raju just leaned over and goes, "You do realize I speak 5 languages?" And leaned back, and he said it in Spanish.
I want to say hi to Blake. We're not letting Blake get a word in edgewise.
Hey,
What Blake? Oh, that Blake.
Go for it.
And you're muted.
Is he? No, he isn't.
No?
Don't hear him, but he's not muted.
Well, The microphone is on, but the wires may not be plugged all the way up.
Now he's muted.
Now he's muted.
Now he's...
His headset's broke. Wonderful.
Oh.
He might have to drop out and come back.
Glad I'm not the only one having technical problems tonight.
Oh, everybody does from time to time.
And Carl says, no wonder he couldn't get a word in edgeways.
Yeah, well, we all need the patented Nick Tockert whiteboard for those cases. Fortunately, I keep my feathers numbered for just such an emergency.
Oh.
I don't have a whiteboard, but
I get that. I get that. I say I get that joke there.
That's easy for you.
Oh.
well, we are of a similar era.
Yep.
Oh,
No, it's not on this one, but it is on this one. Bill, I got one just for you. You ready?
Okay.
It's a clip just for you.
Oh, son of a gun. You thought I was going to say son of a bitch, didn't you?
I used to have that as an audio file that I could use in IRC chat rooms. That was always fun. And I made the mistake once of putting it on an automatic trigger whenever somebody typed some specific phrase for the whatever the fandom or that particular room was, that it would go ahead and trigger that audio file. Not only I could hear it, but if anybody else had the same audio file, we traded back and forth so that could happen. It would automatically play on their system as well. So there was a couple of times back in IRC where you could have an entire conversation using just ASCII cartoons and sound bites.
We knew it all back then. I mean, even when I was in high school and they first actually started showing cartoons in the afternoons during the week, like for about an hour, we would all go, and this is high school kids, not 8-10-year-old kids, but high school kids. We're going in and singing the Twitch because that episode was on the Flintstones that afternoon or whatever it was about. And we're, it's just like WILL Channel 12, which was our local PBS affiliate out of Urbana.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hey, we hear you.
Good deal.
What, did you reboot computer or just have to reboot Chrome?
Just had Brave, so yeah, Chromium.
You had to what?
I'm on Brave, which is a different browser, which is an ad blocking browser.
Ah.
But I wonder if it's this. I had to get a new cable for this because mine was shorting out from the Astro, and this isn't an Astro cable.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens if I do this.
There's the mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird. Maybe it just shorted for a second.
And how are you doing, Blake? We hadn't seen you in a while.
Nah, doing all right. Gotta, work ahead of me every day, and then spend some time with a girlfriend, and we got a couple of projects that we're working on. We're kind of near you. We were out in Pelham last Friday.
Pelham.
That's kind of, I forget how far that is. It's off of 24 it's like 20 miles from Chattanooga, 30 miles.
Okay, yeah, you're on the South Pittsburgh side.
Yeah. The Caverns. We went there for a concert.
Oh, the concert, concert in a cave.
Yep.
I just read about that last week. Yeah.
Yeah, we saw Trampled by Turtles. They're pretty awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, Dan, that's a band you would enjoy. Trampled by Turtles.
Strangely enough,
Well,
their their icon, like on their shirts and stuff, are owls. So go figure.
It's not Flo and Eddie.
Nope.
well,
Now, Blake, they're from up around your neck of the woods. Have you ever heard of Here Come the Mummies?
Hmm. Yeah, they're pretty fun.
Dan, that is a band that you would just absolutely fall in love with.
Yeah, there's a weird. Strangely enough, it's one of the light rock stations that gets them to play for them like every Halloween.
Yeah,
So it's pretty neat.
yeah, they're a bunch of studio musicians under
I'll be right
contract
back.
with different labels, but they're all good friends.
yeah.
And you know, you know how good friends are. They want to get together. They want to cut an album, record it all together. So, but they can't, because of the conflicting contracts. So they go under mask. They've changed their names and wear mummy costumes, cover their face and makeup and all that, and perform and absolutely blow you out of the water. Uh, Carl, look them up on YouTube. Here come the mummies. Uh, oh, what's that morning show up your way, Bill? Tom and
Oh, Bob and Tom.
Bob and Tom.
Yeah,
They do
Bob and
Bob and
Tom show.
Tom all the time.
Oh, okay.
Talk about a band I'd love to play HallowCon.
Hey.
I just ain't got the $25,000 it takes to get them to book.
Hmm. Well, at one time for an Acrocon, the Extraordinary Contraptions were pretty much the house band for
Yeah.
several years. And who else? What? Oh, no, that was a tangent. I don't want to follow that one down because I was about to say down here in Athens we had all these bands nobody ever heard of, like REM and Love Tractor, and
Yeah.
you know,
What was it? They were named after that damn airplane, the big
yeah,
airplane.
the B-52s.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were at one of my college art professors' uh, art show that I went to, and I missed meeting them by about 5 minutes.
Mm.
Now, I do know a couple of the people from Pylon, and I've seen some of the guys from REM walking around town, but I've never spoken to them. And evidently, one of the girls from the B-52s is still in Athens, and she frequents one of the I hate to call it a junk shop, but it's one of those
Junk
places.
shop.
It's one of those places that sells antiques and whatnot that may not be all that valuable, but there's a whole lot of interesting stuff. And I expect to run into her sooner or later, and hopefully I'll recognize what she looks like nowadays.
We got something going on this weekend. Our classic rock WKIO out of Champaign. It's 105.9. And then their sister stations, WDWS and Light Rock 95, they're doing for Independence Day this big, huge show of all the local bands that's come out of the East Central Illinois area over the last 40, 50 years and that. And you see, like, now Carl and Donna will probably recognize some of these names, but Pork and the Havana Ducks, Cool Ray and the Polaroids, Raskeller, and you guys are kind of sitting there with question looks on your face. Then I'll mention Cheap Trick, REO Speedwagon, Head East, of course, Allison Krauss and Union Station, and they'll pull into some of that. Star Castle, which is kind of more locally known, but they did get some national notoriety, and a couple of them. But anyway, songs that you would only hear in the clubs down in College Green Street, Champaign, stuff like that, and you would not have heard otherwise.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Sounds like
apparently they are. I don't know if they're still a band, Carl, but there's going to be Rathskeller music this weekend.
oh well, like I've said many many times, some of the greatest musicians are people you've never heard of.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of people that, thanks to YouTube, I have found out about that were just basically, they played on studio. They were studio musicians. They played on albums, all kinds of albums. But unless you are the type of fan who actually reads the credits on a record, you didn't know who they were.
And here's a face we have not seen. Danky the Clown. Have you ever heard of Space Lady? Very unique artist who started on the streets of San Francisco.
Wait a minute. Are we talking about the roads in the town? Or are we talking about the old TV show with Michael Douglas and what's his name from the American Express commercials?
Carl
Uh,
Malden.
Come on.
Carl.
Thank you.
From the lack of capitals in streets, I would say the actual roads.
Okay, just checking.
And there was somebody else that was before Michael Douglas, but they're also a big name. Of course, it's not Saturday morning, so Bill doesn't remember. Oh no!
For a minute, I'll IMDb it.
IMDb it. It's and Danky is saying the city.
Yep.
Yeah, John was being a little silly. We don't call this stupid o'clock for nothing.
No. Hey, like I said, I'm an independent facts checker. I like to get this stuff straight.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Josh Kemp says just give him some blue gas.
Oh, hey, Richard Hatch.
That's it. Yeah, Richard Hatch.
Okay.
I think did Richard Hatch replace?
Yes.
He replaced him, and
He
then
replaced Michael Douglas in '76.
okay. And then
Well, think of all the people that started out in SWAT.
Yeah,
I mean,
God, yeah.
Steve Forrest was already popular for years and years.
Yeah, he did a lot of military and cowboy stuff. So.
Yeah, he was basically the archvillain of Matt Dillon for all those years on Gunsmoke. But Mark Shera went on to be with Barnaby Jones. Of course, you know who went to star in Vegas, and it just went on and on with that show.
Well, actually, see, I'm watching Pluto TV, which I'm having a blast on that.
Mm-hmm.
They got a Beverly Hillbillies channel, and one of the little guest star bit roles that was in it was probably one of the most beautiful ladies from the '60s before she became super famous. Julie Newmar.
Mm.
Do you
remember her on there?
Do you remember the episode where Jed bought the movie studio? Or you remember Jed Clampett bought the movie studio Drysdale convinced him to buy the movie studio. Mm-hmm. And the movie studio was shooting some movie about the hillbilly accent. So he convinced this actress to hang out with the Clampetts for a little while so she could learn how to speak their language. I was trying to record how they talk all the time. That was Julie Newmar.
Which is funny in another way because Julie Newmar was in the Little Abner movie.
Yeah.
Although, as I recall, I don't think she had a speaking part,
Mm.
but she communicated quite well through dance. Let me tell
Yeah.
you.
She played a Swedish actress with the
Oh,
Swedish accent.
in the
Beverly
Beverly
Hillbillies.
Hillbillies.
Yeah.
Oh, she had one of those "Ask Me Anything" posts on Facebook, and
Mm.
I remember asking her about Little Abner, thinking that's one of those things that everybody's going to ask about Batman.
Yeah.
So why not do something else? So I did, and she kind of liked it. Yeah.
Oh. I mean, I'd have to ask her about the Beverly Hillbillies episode
Oh yeah.
because that was just a bit part.
I loved her on the episode of the Monkees where they all four of them fell in love with her.
Mm. Would not have been hard from.
No, I mean, how can you keep from it?
Excuse me.
Oh,
Back
bless you, Joe. Oh, well. Oh.
Sorry about that. Talking about Julie Newmar and I got choked on my own spit. Mouth watered too much.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Oh.
it's understandable.
Oh, I was watching. You know how I tell y'all about the guy that tells of the 50s and 60s TV shows, Rick 9G? Well, I just found out today Clint Eastwood was almost a villain on Batman.
Oh, really?
The role was written for Clint Eastwood.
Shane?
Shame.
Shame. Yes.
Yes.
Shame. Yeah.
That was written for Clint Eastwood.
I missed it by this much.
Yeah. Part of the studio and his agents just couldn't quite get the gears. It was between shooting schedules and monies were just like this. But the role was written for him, and the deal was Clint Eastwood would have creative rights to the character. He was willing to do his own stunts on his schedule. But
Well, when the negotiations fall apart, they fall apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he still playing Rowdy Yates at that time when Batman was going on?
it was right in between Rawhide and the beginnings of his movie
Yeah.
career.
Oh, okay. All
It
the
was
spaghetti westerns
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah.
And Carl Witzman says, Julie Newmar can do that to you.
Any day of the week.
And I'm trying to
Yep.
think what Carlene says. I think it would have been very hard. Talking to Julie Newmar? Listen, we're trying to keep it PG, Donna, please.
Somebody's trying. You're not trying that hard.
I'm making an effort. Failing miserably, but I'm making an effort.
Save it for the green room. You can do your best routines there.
Yeah.
I'm still hoping that Julie Newmar accepts my friend request on Facebook. I don't know why she hasn't.
Maybe never mind.
It's probably the 10 million people ahead of you.
Or that restraining. Never mind.
Yeah, that too. So
Yeah. She's on the blue side already, and she said she was sorry. Okay. We're not going to go there. We know that. Never mind.
Oh, believe me, sooner or later
I'm
we'll
gonna,
go
I'm
there.
gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna catch hell for that comment either before the show's over or tomorrow.
Hmm. It's a shame I'm probably not going to get to see it because I'll get home too late.
Yeah.
And
John
since
is independent facts checking you right now, Joe Dog, as we speak.
Hmm.
I think I'm in Facebook jail.
really, it seems to be rather easy to get there these days.
Guilt by association.
Oh,
Oh.
heavens.
Yeah. One of these days, I'm gonna do something to get the entire Secret Humor group busted. I'll give all of us 30 days with one fell swoop. 3, 2, 1. Carl's hearing it. Carl's typing. 3, 2, 1. Nope. Okay, he's going to let it
Okay,
slide.
Joe, you didn't allow for alcohol. There it is.
There it is.
There we go.
There it is.
You definitely have that like 5-second alcohol buffer.
Yeah. Well, he said he was saving it for tomorrow night. Carl was typing.
Wait, Carl, do you type like this?
No, actually, Carl was an IT guy, so he's probably.
Yep.
Well, I'm
Oh,
speaking like after beverage.
That's my impersonation of my dad.
computer. Yes, I know you got the joke.
Oh, computer.
Hello, computer.
Yeah.
Use,
Carl
use
says.
the keyboard.
mouse.
How quaint.
Yeah.
Keyboard. How quaint.
Oh yeah. Star Trek: Save the Whales. Yes, I remember that movie.
That's my favorite Star Trek movie, actually.
Klingon fish tanks. Okay.
With colorful language.
Mm. Everybody
Well-
remember where we parked.
Excuse me. Where can we find nuclear vessels?
Yeah.
Hey, at least we're not quoting Monty Python yet.
Mm.
We'll get there. Believe me, we'll get there.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
I smell elderberries. Is your mom here?
Ah. Every D&D group devolves into this eventually.
Oh, we're just
Start-
having fun.
Starts off in King Arthur, winds up in Monty Python. Ah.
We quoted them all the time when they were on Sunday nights at 10:30, Monday morning at school. You knew who watched Monty Python the night before by what they were saying and who they were impersonating.
And Carl has gotten into the spirit of the discussion, but don't know that we can actually. Well, Joe will go ahead and post that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's his
No,
page.
I'm off chasing something. I'm chasing a rabbit right now.
Run away.
I'll keep talking. I'm doing something.
Oh, y'all sparked a memory a little while ago, and the discussion kind of went past it. But do you remember when Unsolved Mysteries was just a special, a one-off, before it ever became a weekly series? And Carl Malden was the host for that. And then it switched to Oh, drat! I've lost his name. I know it. I could.
Robert Stack.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Thank you. It switched to him for the series. So evidently, Carl didn't want to work for
I think he
an
died.
announcer
He has a
job.
pretty good excuse for not doing the next episode.
Oh, he died?
Of what? Who? What?
Carl Malden.
I thought that was much later than Unsolved Mysteries coming on. So okay. Yeah.
I remember he died abruptly. Matter of fact, I think he was getting ready to do a new TV show and died abruptly.
Well, I don't have a firm grasp of time, so which is weird.
Back then, we didn't have Facebook to keep up all that stuff. Back then, if you missed the evening news, you didn't know they died.
It really.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's another random one. Inspirons must be thick tonight. Do you remember the movie version of Babylon 5 before it premiered?
Yes.
And how the music was done by Sting of the Police rather than the classical sort of music that they used once the series got live?
No.
It was a rock soundtrack.
I actually saw that LP at Flealand while I was there in Kentucky. I had no idea what it was.
I liked it a lot just because it was not classical music like most sci-fi shows use. And, the guy can write some decent lyrics, so it sounded good and fit with all the action in the movie. But a decision was made later on not to pursue that direction, so they went with the standard thing. So, nothing wrong with the dramatic music, classical style music either. I kind of like it myself.
Carl, which one F starts in our general direction? Okay. You can't say fart, Carl? You can't type fart?
Maybe he was typing fart and he actually farted and it just
onomatopoeia.
It blew up the letter.
You all right? You feel better?
Oh man, if I could ever get that last vertebrae to pop, I feel great. There's just one more that I can't kind of bend far enough to get it to go pop, but.
Well, I got 3 that I would love to get to pop, but it's kind of hard.
They're welded together, aren't they?
Yeah.
Got the old link welder out.
If you want to head on up, I have access to an inversion table.
No, long story short, when I had to call the neighbor to get me out of the inversion table, I'm never doing that again.
I was only just barely, and I'm like, no,
Joe, it's actually in the owner's manual to wear clothing while you're on the inversion table.
Oh,
I'm supposed to do it nude. Yeah. No matter how impressive you think it is, do not get on the inversion table nude.
Yeah, well, the problem was I was in the backyard. It was one of those.
That's what's the other problem. Yeah.
The roadkill I picked up, I thought, well, shit, if this thing works, I'm going to use it. Got upside down, realized I put it together wrong. Oh, and the little catch strap that, you know what I'm talking about, is it flips upside down, the little catch strap, broke.
So you sat here doing this until the neighbor showed up and stopped.
No, I was actually well past 90 degrees.
And then his wife comes outside and just starts swinging him around. Spin!
No, she didn't. She didn't have enough ass to jump up and grab it to flip me back up.
Yeah, that's what she's good.
Sound. That's Joe's wife playing with Joe in the backyard. Whoop, 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 whoop.
No, actually, there wasn't no whoop whoop. It was her laughing so hard it's what got the neighbor's attention.
That part I believe. Okay.
Yeah, she'd have let me hang. Yeah, Carly says that reminds her of the story of Carl's friend who used those inversion hooks. Yeah, I'll never
Those are the
do.
ones you attach to your ankles. They're the big steel thing with the padding inside. You
Mm-hmm.
snap them to your ankles, and then you've got like a pull-up bar in your door frame, and you pull yourself up and hook them in there by the ankles. And then
Nope.
somewhere in the line, you have to get back up there and pull yourself back off.
Nope. Ours is a big, huge table. Looks like a massage table. Has like a gear shift thing that you choose how much tilt you want. It's good stuff. I can only go about 20 degrees before I feel like I'm gonna die, though.
Yeah.
My mom bought a
I just
massaging
want Dan.
recliner.
I just want Dan to get out of the room. I've already got his room set up to go for last man standing.
Okay. My mom bought one of these massage chairs
This
to
is
heat
what
and
he.
massage
Yeah.
off of Amazon or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got
Before
in there.
Dan. Before Dan gets back, this is scrolling across his room.
Yeah, that's about right.
So she bought this chair on Amazon. It was real easy to put together and all that, but it was just real plain as far as chairs go. So she was like, "Yeah, I don't really like this one because it's a lot smaller than the chair she had to replace." So she wanted me to get rid of it, and she ordered a new massage chair. She didn't know what she was ordering. Yeah. Dear God, the only thing this thing is missing is the coin slot that you see on those chairs at the shopping mall. It has a place to put your arms that massages your arms. Okay. Has a place to put your calves. It massages your calves. Okay. It does the shiatsu up and down your neck and back and everything. It massages your thighs. Okay. First, I put the chair together for her, left it in the living room. She's trying it out. I'm taking all the boxes and styrofoam and plastic wrap and everything back out, putting it in trash and everything. All of a sudden, it sounds like somebody's in there murdering her or having sex with her, one or the other, or maybe both at the same time. It's just my mom screaming and yelling. I got the door open where I'm hauling all these boxes out. Neighbors are like, "What the hell's going on?" Mom, you okay? I said, "Oh my God, this feels so good."
Okay.
Neighbors are like,
And while we're on, sort of doing a gear shift real quick, which we do quite often in
often.
this show, uh, just remind everybody of the great shows on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, you know, like ours, Stupid O'Clock and the Armchair Rocket Science. We've got the Comics, Chaos, and Sass Sundays. Never mind the Furthermore on Monday, Wednesday, and of course tomorrow at 10 a.m. with the great Brian Morris. Saturday night is Clever Title Pending with TED Talks at 10 a.m. Wednesday, another Never Mind the Furthermore with a upcoming show. I forget what they called it. It's the debunking of conspiracy theories, and very possibly a regular Armchair Rocket Science show. We have Armchair Rocket Science has just been granted exclusives of a new Boca Chica camera, Boca Chica videographer down there. And we're going to be starting a show on some of the upcoming stuff. We'll actually have the videographer on the show to keep us up to date on what's going on. This guy right now is producing 3 to 5 videos a day of stuff happening around Boca Chica. He spends all day running up and down the road taking pictures. And he has showed stuff that we have not seen yet. Also, on Thursday, of course, there's the Stupid O'Clock. And just after that is Dan's Last Man Standing. which Dan will, just as soon as we start rolling the intro, Dan's going to jump out of here, jump over to his, and get his show started. So be sure to follow Dan on his pages. And then Friday is another Never Mind the Furthermore. Michaela Jade with her tidbits and scribbles. And Nick Tockard's Historical Fencing Guild. And don't forget also, just remember, Drinking with the Davies before Michaela's show. And of course, Saturday night, 11 p.m., Stupid O'Clock, where we get crazy on everybody. All right, and we'll jump back. We got some comments in here. Let's see what. And who's Duncan? Hello back for another time. What are you, Jen? Oh, it helps if I bring it up.
That would help.
Who's Duncan? Says back for another time. And he says, what are you gents talking about?
A boot. Can't you read? It says a boot.
A boot? What are we
Canadian.
talking about? Well, I'm going to tell you. We have no clue.
We never do.
We never do. But
You tell us who's Duncan.
yeah. And Banana Booey goes, what is this? This is Stupid O'Clock, just a great conversation show where we talk. Imagine Seinfeld with some intelligence.
I don't think my brain can do that, actually.
And Banana Booey goes, let's go. Okay, let's go.
Where are we
it's
going?
Oh,
Can we go get ice cream?
Damn it. What?
What?
I forgot to get ice cream at the store.
Oh.
Thanks, Bill.
well, I'll tell you who's not driving.
Yeah. Well, as far as Seinfeld goes, I do kind of relate to Jerry a lot because my whole life is Superman and cereal. You ever notice he has like 15 boxes of cereal up there?
Who's Kramer? Kramer's not in this episode tonight.
No, Kramer is not here tonight. But if you show up Saturday, you get to see Kramer, and we won't even have to tell you who he is.
This is true.
Yep.
He will make himself known.
Thanks a lot, Jerry. I don't know if that makes me Newman or not, but hey, whatever.
If you want to be.
Who's Duncan goes, haha, yeah, he loves
Newman.
cereal.
I think my favorite Seinfeld episode is the one where he accidentally knocked his girlfriend's toothbrush into the toilet. And he was over there trying to get it out with rubber gloves or whatever, and turns around, she's already brushing her teeth with it because he pulled it out and set it up on the edge of the sink. And he wouldn't kiss her after that. And finally, he told her what had happened. So she went and locked herself in his bathroom, or locked him out of his apartment, then let him back in and goes, I just put something that you own in the toilet and pulled it back out. Or no, what was it? I just put something yours in the toilet.
Yeah.
And so he went through like sanitizing everything in his apartment.
He said, that's it, we're moving.
And he was like, okay, tell me, what did you put in my toilet? She goes, toilet brush. He goes, ah.
Who's Duncan says his favorite was when Kramer was telling Jerry not to shave his chest.
Oh.
My favorite was the bet on who could go the longest.
Yep. That's
Kramer looks out the window and goes, I'm out.
It's hard to have a single favorite Seinfeld episode, but I'll say one of them is when Kramer was having the issues with his underwear, and then they found out that he came in the room and didn't have underwear on.
Okay, I don't remember that one. Banana Booey goes, okay, I have a topic. Who's the hottest guy in 2021? Well, I'll give you a hint.
Benjamin Franklin.
God.
I'll be right back, guys.
Oh, he's getting a booty call. Yeah.
Oh,
And now it's our show.
Oh heavens! No,
Oh,
No, not a
oh,
mistake. No,
oh,
not a mistake.
it's not a.
no.
It's not a mistake. It's
Mm-mm.
not a mistake.
There's
I've
plenty of shows I've never watched a single episode of. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, you've never seen this show before."
Yeah, I've seen
Really?
maybe 3 episodes of Seinfeld, and that was when I was
Like,
visiting somebody that was watching it.
like
oh,
Not only
Battles,
man.
did
like
well, I
Battlestar
missed.
Galactica. Never seen a single episode of any of it.
Um,
Uh,
that's funny because you meet a lot of people that have never heard or have never watched The Walking Dead.
Yep.
Have never watched Game of Thrones,
Yeah,
Yep.
I've never watched a single episode.
and just blows my mind. Never saw any of Chernobyl, which I don't know if any of y'all ever saw that on HBO, the special on Chernobyl, the
I'm not sure.
miniseries.
I kind of feel the same way with The Wire. Like, there's plenty of people.
I never really watched that one either.
Yeah.
But
Firefly. I've never watched one episode.
really,
I've got all of them on a disc, and I have sat down and tried to watch them, and it was good.
Naked
but
Gun the series or Naked Gun the movies, or both.
I like the movies a little better than the series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duggan says where I was good.
That
then
is
got
true,
strange.
especially during like the whole like gang wars part in the middle of the series. It was really weird.
Okay, and Banana says movies. Let me see, Naked Gun movie. I think I've seen all the Naked Gun movies.
I probably have too, but some
Yeah.
of them I had to watch on TV rather than in the theater.
Of course, I think my favorite one was when they hypnotized Reggie Jackson to assassinate the Queen.
They're very dated movies, especially now that you see O.J. Simpson in them, and
Yeah,
it's like, everyone's a little jaded, just a little bit, with everything that happened, too soon, sorry.
yeah,
But,
yeah. And my biggest problem with the Naked Gun movies was going, wait a minute, that's the captain from Forbidden Planet. He shouldn't be telling jokes. He's a romantic lead. No, not anymore.
Oop.
Hey, no, Dan, no offense, but he played Mr. Magoo in the movies. Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, he was also in Airplane too, wasn't he?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Carl.
Stop
You
calling
enjoy
me
yourself.
Shirley.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
avoiding that one.
Yeah, we can't discuss that. We'll get kicked out of here for sure.
Yeah, let's not talk about Mr. Huxtable today. Yeah.
Yeah, so he'd like to keep the show on the air.
Yeah, something about
We-
hoping he
We
gets
kind
caught in the
of we
sweater
kind
in
of did
the rain.
already without mentioning names.
Yeah, we went it obliquely, so that's our specialty. Talking all the way around the point without ever making one.
Yeah.
We get good at that.
Just got to dodge every once in
Hey,
a while.
that is a convention game. Basically, you try and have a conversation without actually specifying what the conversation's about.
True.
It's a show about nothing.
Yeah, well, that will work.
Well, that's
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah. We don't know, but there's always somebody that will complain about something that they see on the internet and report it to and then next thing you know, someone complained about your insensitive remarks. Apparently, you hurt somebody's grilled cheese sandwich. Now you're banned for 30 days.
Yeah, really.
Hey, Joe, how you doing?
That might not have been a good phone call.
Wasn't.
Oh.
I'm gonna hang with you guys. I'm just not gonna be saying much.
Okay.
Well, we're with you no matter what. So, in any case, yeah, like I was saying, we can talk around a point without actually having to make one. So.
Oh yeah. What were y'all talking about?
We
I was completely off. I had headphones off.
Oh, okay.
Had to go talk to my wife.
Nothing really.
we were
We
going
were
through the
talking about the
comments.
Naked Gun movies, which I love.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Then we were talking about not talking about a
Mr.
certain
Huxtable.
actor who got out of.
And
But, you
Banana
know-
Booey says, "Really? That will get you banned." Okay. What did y'all say?
We
Nothing.
didn't want to
didn't?
go on about a previous comment that he made.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Oh. Okay.
And I'm playing Gunshots or Fireworks, which gets extremely hard during this time of year.
So yeah, we're all U.S.
can't you tell by the accents?
I'm actually on Mars right now. I'm at Liberty Station. Yeah. It's Tennessee, Georgia, and Illinois right now, right?
Yeah. Oh. But yeah, I'll just go ahead and tell you, Dan. I've got the Last Man Standing show set up. All you got to do is just go over there and follow the instructions.
Yeah, I'm sorry about last week. That was really a hiccup there, but
Yeah.
I just got to get
Double
better at
tap.
it. Yeah.
Just remember,
Just
double
like
tap.
Just like zombies, double tap.
You got to
Yep.
double tap.
Well, in my confusion, I accidentally ended the thing instead.
Or stutter while you tap.
Wait. What?
I know.
We us a bunch of new. Oh.
Oh, Lord!
My accent's terrible, but come on, don't put me everywhere.
I don't believe I sound like I've ever been anywhere near fucking New York.
I've seen New York on a map.
Nothing's like you're from New York, okay?
He thinks we're from New York because we were talking about Seinfeld, I guess.
Yeah. No. Who said that? I forgot who said. All I'm gonna say, where me, Dan, and John are from, them fighting words.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's see a show of hands.
Me
Who all has bacon
originally.
grease in the refrigerator.
Wait,
Who keeps what in the refrigerator?
Who keeps bacon grease in the refrigerator?
Oh,
Hell, I just
I
kept that in a Folgers coffee can on top of the stove with the lid on it.
hey.
I keep mine old glass jar in the refrigerator just to keep
Oh, how
everything out.
posh!
Well, it keeps everything out of my bacon grease. Like
Yeah.
dogs, flies,
the pig.
kids that think that it's jelly or something.
Oh,
What are they
Let
for?
them think it's jelly. The one time.
Peanut butter and bacon grease sandwich.
I can
yep.
feel my arteries clogging already.
Well, it is. Lard is one of the ingredients in the filling of a Twinkie. So
Really?
yeah, that and a lot of sugar. A
Yeah.
lot of sugar.
Like if you make your own homemade icing, it's like a huge bag of confection sugar and a whole canister of Crisco.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
All right. Let me see here. I'll do this. And
Okay. Good night, Duncan. Thanks for jumping in. We appreciate it. We're all about having fun.
Joe,
Yep.
throw that up real quick.
And one of these days we'll have it.
Okay. We're all basically from around this area here,
Yeah.
except for
Me. I'm up
Dan,
here.
who's way over here,
I'm up in
and then
Nashville.
me, who is like way up here. Oh wait, no. Where are you from, Bill?
Illinois.
Illinois.
I'm a boys from Illinois.
Where in Illinois?
You're near Champaign, aren't you?
East of Champaign.
Are you like
Gondola,
Gondola?
Closest town would be Danville. I'm just west of Danville in Oakwood.
Because I used to visit Gondola and Gondola a lot back in the day.
Pagney. Danville. There's Danville.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's from that area. And then now, let me see here. Somebody's from this area.
Yep, you can see my house from here.
Oh, really?
Hold on.
Your gutters need cleaned out.
Yeah, no.
Oh, the whole house needs to be leveled, honestly. That's just me. But we're waiting for property values to go sky high and then move to the country.
Nice seeing you, Who's Duncan, and nice seeing you, Banana Booey. And
Yep.
Banana Booey and
we have another show
clown
Saturday
guy.
night at 11 Eastern time.
No.
Hmm. And if it makes you feel better, my wife is English. You can imagine a Southern household. Oh, and the look she gets at all the places where we go shopping. You ought to see the people at a Subway when she tries to order a sandwich. They're just going, "What'd you say? What'd you say?" I mean, good grief. It's English, but it's English.
It's the Queen's English.
It's proper English.
Indeed.
Oh.
And she does occasionally help me with editing a story.
Like
And I sometimes help her with editing a post on social media.
Scariest story I ever saw once was talking about Russian troops entered Georgia. I was loading rifles.
You ain't got to worry about a thing. The local boys around here, just tell them they're deer.
Yeah, just
I mean-
commas and stuff really helping that.
You know,
better
armed
yet,
Russians, true.
no, better yet, tell them they're coming for your guns.
Yep.
most of my friends would show up with deer rifles. I'd show up with a banjo.
A banjo.
Ding, 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 ding.
You're the terror weapon.
Yes, I'm propaganda.
Well,
Psyops.
thing you got to remember about Southerners, some of us climb trees in the freezing cold and sit there for hours in the dark waiting for the chance to kill something.
One shot. That's all we want. 8, 9 hours in the cold.
I
That
recently watched a video that a Civil War reenacting friend of mine from the South made, where he said that his cat disappeared and he thought a bobcat got it. So he makes this live Facebook video in the middle of the night where he takes his AR-15 and his Colt 45 and he's going out in the woods behind his house hunting for a bobcat. And this guy is crazy as a loon. He's funny to have around a campfire when you're doing Civil War reenactments and that. And he gives everybody nicknames, but the guy is literally crazy as a loon, and that's the guy you want with you if they say they're coming to get your gun.
Yeah, he's been licking the 3 rings. So
Mm-hmm.
Well, what John, you're talking about climb a tree in the freezing cold. What about the turkey hunters that'll sit at the base of a tree, and you could walk up and step on their foot?
They
you can
won't
just
make
go
the
into my
sound.
backyard and get all the turkeys you want. They come through here, even in the city.
I have been laying in a position camouflaged behind a machine gun before.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there pulling watch. I'm sitting here looking over top of this machine gun. And you just you're listening, you're watching. This bird lands on the barrel of your machine gun. Says, okay, I must be doing pretty good in the camouflage department.
Really?
Now, I'm sitting here doing that. Bird flies off. All of a sudden, I'm laying on my stomach behind this machine gun. Right? All of a sudden, I feel something crawling up the back of my leg. Yeah. And it's not so much a crawl as a slither.
Oh,
Okay, up the back of my leg. I can feel it goes right up over my buttocks. I can feel it crawling up my back and shoulder. I can feel it right here on my shoulder. Now, the machine gun I've got, it's got this little wire hook that you lay on your shoulder. So I can feel it. And I look over and I see this little itty bitty snake head just out of my peripheral vision coming up across that little wire stalk on the back of the machine. I'm saying, all right, I'll just lay here and let it do its whatever it needs to do. And it crawls out and it gets out on the butt stock of this machine gun. I look down, it's a salamander.
Oh, that's cool.
Fish bait.
And I'm like,
Had you
You know,
go
I'm
in there
just-
for a
I'm
minute,
just
though,
like-
didn't it?
You just don't know.
yeah.
And
I'm just
John,
like,
John, you were thinking as it was coming over your shoulder.
this, when this happened to me, was down in Fort Stewart, Georgia. And this is the same post where they tried to bed us down next to an alligator.
Oh,
Literally, we're driving down the road and we're doing the tactical thing. One vehicle to the left, one vehicle to the right, at least 100 meters between vehicles. We're doing our tactical convoy. And we're going over this little bridge, and you're trained to look around the bridges to see if there's anything around it. And it's just one of these little water under the road, culvert type things. I look over, and there's this big, must at least be 12-foot long black alligator. Just laying there in the mud. I go, wow, alligators, that's cool. And I look up, and all the vehicles in front of me are turning left into the woods. And I pull in behind them, and it turns out this is where we're going to be sleeping overnight. This is our ORP, Organizational Rally Point. Where does my truck wind up sitting? About 25 meters from that alligator.
Now
Where
we
did I sleep
understand
that
why
night?
you're laying there
Where did I sleep
across
that
the
night? In
machine
the
gun.
cab of the truck.
You weren't guarding the camp. You was hunting gators. I guess we're going to
People
have
come
to.
over to check on me, knocking on the door of the truck. And go, why are you still up in the truck? I said, walk about 25 yards that way and tell me. What? And I don't know if any of y'all ever been near an alligator. They're hard to see. Even if they're just sitting right out there in the open, they're hard to see because they don't stick out much.
I don't know. Last one I saw was pretty easy to see. He was climbing a 8-foot chain link fence.
This one was just sitting there, but you can hear them.
Yeah, they vibrate
It's like this.
almost.
And you'll see them kind of puff up for a second, and all of a sudden you hear this. And then they'll puff up a little bit. I was 25 yards away from that thing, and you could hear it breathing.
That is a negative Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
And with
My
that,
squad leader's like, what is that? I says, whatever you do, don't go over there. And he's wearing night vision goggles, and I can see him looking, but you can't. And you can't pick out anything unless it's really moving. It's a problem.
Well, I mean, the reptile is cold-blooded. What are you going to see
Well,
with the heat
they're not
vision?
thermal. They're not thermal. They're not heat vision. They do infrared, but it's low-end infrared, not the
Oh.
infrared. Thermal vision is far-end infrared, and you get to see differences in heat.
we're going to have to say goodnight, everybody.
All right. And, Bill, I'll get right to that. I've got to go do a couple of things first.
Yeah. Poke the green duck, Dan, and go ahead and jump to your page. The instructions are there for you. And Donna says goodnight, and Josh Kemp says, that loud a hiss? Yes, that loud of a hiss.
It's not even a hiss. It's just,
It's just Godzilla breathing.
yeah.
All right. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night,
Good night,
everybody.
everybody.
have slipped the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.